Okay, we're gonna solve this system of equation saying we have 2, right? 1 and 2. 1 and 2 equations. One cool thing is that we said this was even easier than substitution, but you have to catch that these values have to be exactly the same. But in this case, look at them. Are they exactly the same? I see negative 8 and 8. Would they eliminate? And when we said eliminate, they had to be a plus and minus. See how that had to be a plus and a minus, or maybe the top had to be a plus and the bottom is a minus. So one of these have to change. So it's up to you which you're going to change. I'm actually going to change the top one because I see 2 negatives here, and if I flip them, they'll become positive. So to rewrite this is going to be a 7x plus 8y equals to 15. How do I do that? I multiplied the top equation by -1 and -1 on both sides. And the bottom, we're not going to change. We're negative x. Because if we change it, our 8y's, see our 8y's here, they wouldn't cancel out. Plus and minus is equal to 6. Now, as you can see now, these two eliminate. They cancel out. Gone. We're left with negative 3x is equal to 21. And you guys are probably seeing that, hey, 21 and 3 divided into each other. Don't forget the negative. X is negative 7. Negative 7 for x. The hard part about elimination method is that now you have to plug in the x into an equation that isn't solving for y. So we're going to go ahead and just use the top equation or the bottom. Remember, it doesn't matter. So I'll use the bottom then instead, if it doesn't matter. Negative 10x minus 8y is equal to 6. We solve for x. X was negative 7, so we write negative 7 there. Negative 10 times negative 7 is positive 70, right? We don't need to write the positive. Positive 70. Minus 8y is equal to 6. Let's get rid of the 70, minus 70. Okay, we end up with negative 8. Y is equal to negative 64. We can divide both sides by negative 8 and negative 8. Y is equal to just 8. So I'm going to go ahead and prove to you that negative 7 and 8 are the answers. So let's go ahead and plug into the first equation here. I see there's a lot of stuff going around about it, but we're going to plug into this equation. So it's negative 7 blank minus x minus 8 y is equal to negative 15. We see x is negative 7 and y is 8. So it's 49 minus 64. 49 minus 64, that equals to negative 15. Okay, we're good to go. Our next problem. So there's a couple ways of doing this. We can either cancel out the y's or the x's. It's up to you. I could change this by multiplying by 3 to a 9, or I can multiply this guy here by a 2 so they would match. See, this could be a 3 or that could be a 2. It's really up to you. I'm going to change the top, and let's say I'll multiply by 2. But if I multiply just by regular 2, see if I write a 2 here, would they cancel out? Not really. They have to be a different sign. Remember, plus and minus. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply by a 2, but in this case, I'm going to multiply by a negative 2 and a negative 2. Let's rewrite that as negative 18x plus 2y, because get it, the negative 2 times the positive negative 1 is a positive 2, equals to a negative 2. Rewriting the bottom as 3x minus 2y equals to negative 13. Now, elimination is great because now you can see that the y's match up. And they're gone. We're left with a negative 15x equals to negative 15. Divide by negative 15 to both sides. x is equal to positive 1. Well, like we said before, we have to solve for both x's and y's. So if we solve for x, let's solve for y now. And you can use any of these equations. I'll pick the second one. 3 blank minus 2y is equal to negative 13. We said x was 1. So that's 3 minus 2y is equal to negative 13. That's solved for y. So we get rid of the farthest value. See, 3 is farther away than from our variable. So we minus 3 to both sides. Opposite operation, the plus 3 is minus 3. Negative 2y is equal to negative 16. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. Y is equal to positive 8. Okay? Let's double check it just to prove us right. Let's use the first equation. 9 times 1 minus 8, does that equal to 1? 9 minus 8 is 1. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Here we go. So here's the last problem that we're going to do right now. We have a problem with 9x and 10y and negative x and 3y, and none of these match. So like our last problem, we could change the x value. Now what number can I change x value to make this match? Well, 9, right? If this was a 9, those guys would cancel out. These guys would cancel out, and we're done. But I'm going to make it a little more difficult, and I'm going to get rid of the x's. No, the y's. I'm sorry, the y's. Now, what number can I make 10 and 30 look alike? I can't make 10 look like a 3, and I can't make 3 look like a 10, but I can make them both look like 30. So we're going to multiply the top by 3, and the bottom by 3 times 10. That will give us our 30y each. So let's go ahead and write that out. 3 times 9 is 27x. 3 times 10 is 30y. And 7 times 3 is 21. 10 times negative x is negative 10x. 10 times negative 3 is negative 30y. And this equals to negative 140. As you can see now, right there, they both cancel out. That will become positive 17. X is 27 minus 10 is 17. The y's cancel out, and we're left with on the right side, negative 119. Now, once I divide by 17 here, I don't know my division by 17. So the trick is, again, think of a number where I can multiply 7 by to get into 9. 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 6 is 42, 7 times 7 is 49. Oh, 7 times 7 is 49. Turns out that's it. Negative 7. So once we find x, we now have to find y. So don't take a breath. Go ahead and jump into it. So let's solve for our y value. We'll use the top equation, 9x plus 10y is equal to 7. I could have used the bottom equation again. I chose the top one because they're all positive on top. And if you look at the bottom equation, they're all negative. And I don't want to mess with negatives if I don't have to. And we said x is negative 7. So 9 times negative 7 is negative 63. Plus 10y is equal to 7. Hey, this isn't going to be too bad. Plus 63 plus 63. 63 plus 7 is 70 is equal to 10y. Divide by 10, divide by 10. Y is equal to 7. Bam. And again, I'm just going to prove it to you by just solving, making sure that this is true. 9 times negative 7 plus 10 times 7. Does this equal 7? 9 times 7 is 63. Negative 63 plus 70. Yep, that's 7. Since we have a little time, I'm going to go ahead and try the second equation. A negative x minus 3y. Does that equal to negative 14? Right? This is my second equation. That's 7 minus 21. Does that equal negative 14? Well, yeah, it does. Negative 14 equals negative 14. And we're good. Right? 7 equals 7. And we're good here. So either way, I would recommend just check it. Thanks.